Jade reroll has been hidden OP for some time now, but that ends today because I will show you how to master this comp by going over the build, what items and augments you make, how to play before level 5, during level 5, and after level 5, what you do if you get contested, then I'll go into some in-depth positioning examples. This is a slow roll comp, meaning you're rolling down to 50 gold every single turn for 3-star Ezreal, Leona, Taric, and Karma. We want to slow roll at level 5 with this comp. Here we have Ezreal as our primary carry, Leona as our primary tank, Ashe, Karma, and Taric are support units that make both Ezreal and Leona stronger through the Jade statues. When you hit your 3 stars, you'll level up to 6 and play Lee Sin. He will be a good tank and semi-carry, since he gets the Tempest synergy, and you will use the Dragonmancer item on him. At level 8, you add in Shi-OU for 6 Jades. He can also be a powerful tank or carry to throw your late game items onto. That's about it for the build with this comp. It is very linear and straightforward to play. There are a few other variations of your late game board depending on what augments you get, but I will cover those later in the video. Ezreal is our main carry, so we prioritize making items for him first. But to start off, I want to note that Ezreal's spell now scales with AP in set 7 and not with AD like it did in set 6. Therefore, his build will be a lot different. He has one core item, which is blue buff. This item makes him only need 2 autos to cast instead of the usual 4. The second and third items want to be damage items. These can be IAJG, Archangels, GS, Static Shiv, or Death Cap. You pick any combination of these two, but if you pick IE, you have to pick JG as the other one to make your spell always crit. One thing to note is that you can drop blue buff if you get blue battery or axiomic arc as one of your augments. In that case, just build another one of those damage items instead of blue buff. Another thing to note is that Rageblade is a bad item on Ezreal, since his spell and the Jade statues already give him enough additional attack speed. The extra we get from Rageblade is negligible. If there's a lot of splash damage in the lobby, then going for Gunblade as the third item is great to get healing onto Ezreal, and to also make him heal up our frontline. We do not want this every game, because if Ezreal is not threatened by splash damage, then Gunblade won't really have that much of an effect. Once you've made Ezreal items, you want to make items on Leona. She wants one damage item that is either Sunfire or Ionic Spark. Note that if you made Static Shiv on Ezreal, then you do not want to build Spark, as resistance shredding does not stack in TFT. The other 2 items want to be tank items. These are Stoneblade, Warmogs, Redemption, Bramble, and Dragon's Claw. If you picked Sunfire board as one of your augments, then you can drop the damage items on Leona and go for triple tank items on her instead. Having 3 items on Ezreal and 3 on Leona is incredibly important. After you've gotten that, you can make additional items to buff up Ezreal like Chalice and Zeke's, or you can make AD and tank items for Shi-OU once you hit him. Shi-OU wants Titans, Warmogs, i.e. Hurricane, and the other classic tank and bruiser items. If you get a spatula, you want to make Guardian Spat and put it on Lee Sin once you hit that. This allows you to go for 4 Guardians at level 7, and then you can drop Lee Sin at level 8 to add in Shi-OU for 4 Guardian and 6 Jade. The best augments to take are Ascension, Axiom Arc, Celestial Blessing, Electro Charge, Featherweights, Luden's Echo, Second Wind, Thrill of the Hunt, Tiny Titans, Blue Battery, Guardian Crest Only, Jeweled Lotus, Last Stand, Portable Forge, Press the Attack, Sunfire Board, Trade Sector, and Think Fast. I mentioned a lot of augments there, and the best ones out of those are Celestial Blessing, Featherweights, Thrill of the Hunt, Blue Battery, Jeweled Lotus, and Think Fast. The carousel priority for this comp is Tear, Rod, Sword, then Glove. After that, you want to look for your early game opener. This will always just be units for your level 5 comp, but know that if you don't find the Guardians right away, you can play Ezreal and Ashe with any other frontline until you find them, like Bruisers or Cavaliers. I always play for a loss streak with this comp, as it's usually too weak to consistently win streak until you have 3-star units. I also sell off units I don't need to make eco. Sometimes I'm just playing 2 units at level 3 to make 10 gold earlier. Another important thing to note is that you never level in the early game when playing this comp. This is so we can maximize our odds of hitting 1-cost units in every shop. The goal of the early game is to be level 4 with 8 out of 10 XP on stage 3-1, with at least 50 gold or more. Since that is the goal, I rarely make items in the early game. The only time I will ever slam an item is if I know that I will lose the fight anyways, and it will save me HP. At stage 3-1, you will roll down to 35 gold at level 4. This is to hit some 2 stars and not get rolled every fight, while also squeezing out more value from the level 4 shops. We will be back up at 50 gold on stage 3-3, and once you get there, you are going to be level 5. Once you are level 5 with 50 gold or more, we start slow rolling, meaning we're rolling down to 50 gold every single turn for 3-star units. Your 3-star priority is Ezreal, Leona, Taric, then Karma. Ezreal and Leona are the backbone of this comp, and if you don't hit those 2, you will have a very hard time. Taric is great to 3-star, but you can skip him. Karma is just a nice bonus, as sometimes she can deal some decent damage at 3-star, and she also buffs up the Jade statues at higher star levels. You never chase 3-star Ashe as you will likely never hit, and we don't have the bench space to chase 5 different 3-stars. You will slow roll until you hit Ezreal and Leona 3-star. This usually means you're slow rolling for most of stage 3. Once you get to stage 4, people start power spiking, and the damage needed starts to ramp up quite a bit. This means we have to roll down to hit very soon, but this depends on our HP. Once we are 40 or less HP, then we have to roll until we hit, as we need enough HP and gold to hit level 8 for Xiaoyu later. Once you hit at least Ezreal and Leona, you will level up to add in Lee Sin and make him the Dragonmancer. From there, you will add in Twitch from her attack speed at level 7, and then replace Twitch with Xiaoyu at level 8 since he needs 2 slots. At level 8, you also want to replace Lee Sin with a 2-star Yasuo once you hit that. And if you got a Guardian emblem, then you want to take out Lee Sin at level 8 for Braum or Thresh, and throw that emblem on Xiaoyu. At level 9, you will add in Bard or Soraka depending on what you need more of. If you get contested, your plan will change, but first you need to figure out how you're being contested. You can get contested by somebody else trying to play the same comp, or you can get partially contested by somebody else trying to play 2-star Ezreal and Guardians as their mid to late game transition. Getting partially contested on one cost literally doesn't matter. As long as he's not chasing the 3-stars, you can just ignore it. If you get full contested though, things are not looking too bad, although you are definitely not in a great spot anymore. There are 29 of each 1 cost, so 2 players can 3-star their 1 cost somewhat consistently. You most likely won't hit until stage 4, so on stage 4-1, you usually want to roll until you hit Ezreal and Leona 3-star. Another thing you can do is to pivot into another AP comp like Mage Nami, Ryze, or Ao Shin, depending on which items you have. To start off, we need to talk about the Jade trait and the statues. The Jade trait summons a statue that you can move around like a training dummy. At the start of combat, this statue will buff all champions next to it, including non-Jade units like Ezreal and Leona. Therefore, we always want Ezreal next to the statue to get free attack speed and healing. The bonus from Jade is a yes or no buff, meaning it does not stack. So once you get 2 statues in with Xiaoyu, you want to spread out the statues so that you can spread out your team as well and not be clumped up. There are also 2 spells to be aware of. The first one is Tarik's spell. He targets the closest ally and gives them armor. We want him to be close to Leona for almost the entire game. The second one is Lee Sin. He kicks his current target far away until they collide with something on the board. This can sometimes result in him kicking the enemy tank into the backline. General positioning with this comp looks like this. Here we have Ezreal, Ashe, and Karma in the left corner next to the Jade statue. Ezreal won't get cornered as he has 5 range, and Karma has 4 range, so Karma will always move before Ezreal and he'll never be stuck. Lee Sin is above Ezreal and behind Leona. This is to make sure that he kicks the unit that Ezreal is targeting to make them go farther away, and also to kick units that get too close to our backline. You want to put your second Jade statue in the front line and have the rest of your tanks be touching it. Against the first guy, the big threat is Ao Shin and Ornn. We have split away Karma and Ashe to bait out both parts of Ornn's ultimate, as he will first target Ashe, then hit it again towards Karma. Lee Sin is positioned to walk up and kick the Ornn. If we are lucky, he will kick Ornn right after he ults so that he won't get to do the second part of his ultimate. Another reason we have split up the Karma and Ashe is because one of Zoe's spells is the Lux ultimate from set 6, and that targets the farthest away unit. It deals a lot of damage, so we need Ezreal to not get hit by it. A third reason for splitting up Ashe and Karma is because of Bard. Since he targets the largest clump of enemies, we don't want Ezreal to be in that clump. Since Tarik and Lee Sin will walk up to the front line, the largest clump will be over there. The reason why Tarik and Lee Sin don't start at the front row is because we want them to get the Jade buff, and we also want Namsi to not fire her orb onto Ezreal, as we don't want to lose healing on him. Against the second guy, the big threat is Varus. We have done the same split off with Karma on the left side to bait out the Ornn ultimate. Lee Sin is positioned to walk up and kick the enemy Ornn. Tarik is close to Leona to give her more armor against the swift shots targeting her. Against the third guy, the big threat is Corki. Lee Sin is positioned to kick Idas into the backline. Our other tanks are around the Jade statue. We want them as close to Idas as possible, so they can all chase her down when she gets kicked into the backline. The rest of our units are next to the Jade statue in the corner to get buffed and to get more attack speed through swift shot. Thank you so much for watching. If you learned something, please leave a like and subscribe to the channel. Comment down below what video you want me to make next, and if you want to get better at TFT, join the Discord. We got over 8,000 other players there who are hungry to climb. And if you want to get coached by me, the information is over on the Discord server as well. So take care and see you in the next video.